Good day, friends. This is Tracy Brown. I hope you're doing really well. And you might hear my dog below. That's who's down there sneezing and coughing. He's okay. But those of you who watch these videos long enough to remember is that I have a dog. He's pushing 15, or actually over 15 now. Has a collapsed trachea, but he's okay. He has medication. We're taking care of things. So he is not dying. So good morning to everybody who's watching live. Thank you so much. So I had a reader question this weekend that I thought I would talk about. And this week is going to be about reader questions I've gotten over the last week or so. So we're going to talk about some bigger themes that I think are just pretty good things to always kind of review and re-spin in a way that makes sense to you and the place that you are in your own recovery. So let's jump in and get started. All right, so I have a person asking about, they didn't use the word supportive eating, but I think they did, but in a way that encompasses emotional want for food as well. That was the gist I was getting. And so let's talk about that. It can often feel like we're doing emotional eating when we're eating, play foods essentially. So if you're eating more donuts or chips or things like that maybe don't have the highest nutritive content, often the reason we're doing that is because we need more calories. That's it. And so it's really, really important to make sure that you're eating, the baseline is always going to be enough. So I highly recommend, if you aren't already doing this, to look at, it is really, wow, did you hear that? It's really booming here outside, so I better get this video done. I really highly recommend you look at Ellen Satter's work. So ellensatter.com, and it's ELLYNSATTER. I really enjoy her work. I think it's very earthy and grounded around nutrition and food. And her advice is sound as it is like 20, 30 years ago, is that the hierarchy is you have to get enough food in for food not to feel special, for play foods not to feel special for ongoing period of time. And so getting enough, isn't that crazy, Jennifer, that thunder? Wow, it's intense right now. So it's just really, really, really important to get enough food in. Then it's so much easier to layer all the foods. And I always tell my clients, like, if you took all the food you're eating and you put it in a bag and you shook it up and you like kind of rolled it all on a picnic table, and if you're seeing a pretty big variety of food, you're doing great. Nutrition status wise, you don't have to worry and panic. If you are having play foods, when I say a lot, that means maybe you have like a whole meal of donuts and you have cookies at lunch and you have something at dinner that's less nutritive. And then you look over the course of many, many days, what we're looking for is variety. And you're not going to necessarily have variety if you're food restricting, if you are thinking you're eating wrong and food restricting and then causing deprivation-driven eating. You're going to find that things do feel a little more emotionally charged because you're afraid you're doing it wrong, you're afraid of weight gain, and those are all the things that are going to trip you up with your actual supportive eating. So remember the definition, I guess this is my definition of supportive eating, is that supportive eating takes into account our physical, mental, emotional needs. And that means sometimes that we're going to eat a lot of play food, trusting that in a day or a week, trusting that like, we'll get sick of it and you'll find yourself buying that XYZ more nutritive food at some point. Only that stuff works though. That only works if you're eating enough overall energy for your needs. So if you're in early recovery, you might find yourself eating more food than comparatively somebody maybe your stature and age. You might be eating much more than them because you're trying to heal 1 year, 10 years, 30 years of a calorie deficit from food restriction. Whether minor food restriction, let's say that your needs are XYZ and you're only eating a couple hundred calories less than that, but you've been doing it for a long time, you're still going to have a deficit that's built up that you have to heal. Or if you're somebody who's been restricting much more than that, you're going to have a much bigger deficit. And if you're less than your set point. So that's the facts. And that's how we get to supportive eating. allowing yourself to eat more of the foods, to let them just rest and let them not be a big deal anymore. That's the way we get there. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I'm answering reader questions this weekend or this week. So if you have some, I'm willing to do multiple videos to crank that out this week for you all. And so please private message me. You can email me if you have questions. If you are needing a space that's both brave and have lots of information and lots of group support in a very fat-friendly space, then consider the Peaceful Eating group as well. I'm going to be opening up more. I haven't talked about it much the last several months, but feeling the need for it time to open up again and get some new members in so we can get growing and make some strides maybe a little bit faster than you would on your own. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you next video. Bye for now.